0 to $1,000. This is the single most question which I asked myself when I was starting out as a freelancer, designer, entrepreneur, and so on. How can I make my first $1,000? The first $1,000 hits so special for all of us, right? And it hits even big when we achieve it from scratch. So in this video, I'm gonna give a little bit insight about my journey, the process I followed, and more importantly, the lessons I learned. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video. This video is brought to you by my younger self. Let me explain. 2 years ago, I decided to get out of my comfort zone in order to achieve and pursue the stuff which I want to pursue. I experimented and tried a lot of things, failed more, got some tiny wins, and learned a plenty of lessons along with my journey. So, with that set in my mind, I thought now it's the time to give back and expose the path which I followed so that in some way, for somebody, it might help and spark the motivation to start off. So, how it all got started? It's story time. So it's the year 2020. I successfully passed out my 10th board exams, and there was a big question in front of me, which kept me awake all day and night. What to do next? What's the next thing which I want to pursue in my life? And I had no idea. But I know this one thing. I have this strong passion and curiosity to the world of internet things.
What about this internet thing? Do you know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly?
Yeah, the same internet which seemed as a fad to many people in the late 90s. I'm talking about the same internet which is now changing the world.
This internet thing is crazy.
I'm talking about the same internet where kids are building great things and changing the world with their ideas.
You should be the most optimistic generation of all time. You have the internet.
So as like every other Indian student, I was presented with three options: commerce, science, and computer science. And of course, I'm a tech nerd. I'll be choosing the computer science stream. Even though I'm entering as a computer science student for 2 years in the academics, I knew this thing. I will not be learning much stuff about this field in the academics, because the fact is that I'm recording this video after 2 years, after spending almost 2 years there, and the reality is that there is no more things, no more practical side being taught about this field, and there is no much discussion about the economical side of this big tech field. Living and growing in a world where kids are building great things and changing the world with their innovative ideas always inspired me to build something. But there is a sea of questions in front of me which is questioning and doubting my guts. How I can start? From where I can start? Where to even put my hands at the first place? I don't even have the essential devices to start off. What will Johnny from high school will think of me? So one of my main problem is I don't have the essential gadgets to try something. But all of a sudden, everything got changed up. Everything turned online, social distancing, and more time. So I started experimenting. So in the initial days, I learned how to write code, and boy, I was feeling like I'm the next Mark Zuckerberg building the next big social network. But that excitement didn't last too long because I wasn't able to explore much deep into the coding world as I'm using just a smartphone. And yeah, that's acceptable. But I continued my experimenting process. So by that time, I gained 2 skills, okay, on a basic level. But the best thing was that I was able to share my learnings with the world. You guys can smell where I'm taking this into, the content creator economy. The economy which is valued over $100 billion. So I started to create content as a complete beginner, and I started to show up my face on the cameras. But I'm too shy to show up myself, so
and actually I'm planning to launch my first digital product.
So that creation process helped me to find, connect, and learn from some amazing people around the globe. So here is the thing. Unknowingly, I was building my brand online. So one day, a guy who runs a website development company reached out to me and asked me that, can you help my business? And I was like, is this legal? Because I had no idea what he's talking about. So this guy required some design support for his company's marketing and things like that. So he requested me to send a sample copy of what I can do with this stuff which I have, so that he can review with his team and approve it. So I did it. That's a moment which literally blew my mind. So after some weeks, again I got a notification asking me, what are your charges? And I was again freaked out. So by using the money which I generated for working with them, and with the help of my mom, I bought my first computer. Okay, now things gonna get pretty smooth as I have a powerful device with me. But the learning process was not, because I had to learn from the basics, from scratch. What is PayPal? How to skill up? How to build my brand? How to use the essential tools? How to call DM people? How to give the best experience to my customers? How to manage finance? How to wake up at 5 a.m. So that's how I made my first $1,000. I know that I teleported you people from zero to $1,000 that quickly, but that was my process. Everything from base, from scratch, knowing how to, knowing what is PayPal, how PayPal works, to how to write better emails, how to manage clients, learning finance, managing my time, productivity. So that's the process. And the lessons I learned, if you don't try, you won't know. I tried, and that's the reason why I'm recording this video right now. And finally, always start with what you have given, because
You have the internet.